None in this place. None of those people are with it.
What is Munchkin Cthulhu?
What about Munchkin Apocalypse? Is that not local? This one. I'm more interested about this one. I think it's a hate crime.
Is that
Or
loading?
Munchkins have taken
What's that?
over.
Is that loading?
We were gonna do
It says we're up and live. What's that? I don't know.
It's go.twitch.tv/College I believe. It's not loading. I mean, I don't know how good Twitch is on an iPhone. I'm on Wi-Fi, yeah.
Now we're offline. No, we're live. We're live.
You're wishing them luck.
That's the mind games I'm playing with them. That's so good. That's what I was playing with them. I was playing like as many champions as possible to see if they would try to
It
ban.
says we're up too. It says we got 2 viewers in a row.
I am one of them.
I don't disagree. If it was still really good, it's not changed, right?
I've never seen anyone using Twitch on their phone or web browser, so I don't know if this is the best method. You have the stream pulled up?
You have people that cannot swear. Can't swear. Eden policy. You're gonna eat. I'll take the minus one game. Sponsored by Home Depot, by the way. No, he's gonna be fighting about himself, like while he's fucking casting.
Good?
Why
Sweet.
is Anthony so light? Why is Anthony so light?
Thank God.
Where's the vending machine at?
Anthony White. During this downtime, I would go ahead and like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Home Depot, Home Depot Inc. or Home Depot America. I'm currently employed at
Well,
construction products.
I was expecting this to go worse.
right?
Like a lot worse. That never happens. Ever. Not even if there's a fire.
We did it. We did it.
Yeah, the stream's up too.
Anytime someone picks up boots,
Hey, 24.
you're gonna shout out Nike, alright? Good. You're gonna find somebody you like.
Hey guys, who's our first broadcasters? Alright, I want to go over here for a second. Let's do some.
Mic them up, boys. Mic them up. I have the.
It is. Be careful. These switches out. Alright, y'all. Do we have a second chair? Yeah, I think you can grab either one. That's fine.
Well, you went the court. Where? That's really good to see that.
Anthony, check 1 2. Yeah, whenever's fine.
Super casual, do whatever you
Cool.
your thing. You know. Cool. We're gonna
You introduce yourself first.
They've got headsets on. Are y'all ready?
Oh yeah.
You're good here. Whenever you're ready to unmute.
Hi, my name is Ethan Omer. I'm the support for Georgia College Esports, and this is my co-host Anthony.
I'm Anthony Chang. I am the jungler for Georgia College Esports.
Stream's looking good, guys. All right. So we're about to start up in a minute here, and before anything, I'd like to give us a shout out to our sponsor, Nike.
Yes, Nike Incorporated. Give me 1 second. Nike Incorporated is an American multinational corporation that is engaged in the design, development, manufacturing, and worldwide marketing and sales of footwear, apparel, equipment, accessories, and services. Thank you, Nike Incorporated, for always supporting us. We appreciate it.
We're not officially sponsored yet, but soon enough, maybe we can get some free stuff from them.
If the stream was on already, we just said that twice.
They didn't hear us. It was
Oh,
muted
right,
before.
right.
Yeah, it's okay. We're good. So the game is due to start in about a minute or so here, and we're going to head right into the pick ban.
And for people that don't know, it's Young Harris College against Georgia College and
And-
State University.
We are in the Peach Belt tournament bracket right now. And I believe since we are home, we get the first ban, if I'm not mistaken.
We're actually playing away.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, that's why we're on the second team.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I can crank it up here.
Y'all are quiet. They don't yell like we do.
And in the chat, it seems that both teams are ready, and into the pick bans we go.
Wait for the stream to catch up a little bit.
Should wear like suits next time.
We should look more professional. All right, looks like Young Harris starts off in a Azir ban. Probably going to be also banning Nunu along with that.
Kind of a peculiar ban that we would see that. Usually Azir's played in the mid lane, and our current mid laner, Emperor John, is not an Azir main, so peculiar first ban.
Peculiar first ban indeed. We only played it once.
Nonetheless, followed up by a Jinx ban, which our AD carry doesn't really play, nor does he play Caitlyn, and the Lulu ban. Lulu is a very strong and oppressive support right now, so in my opinion, as a support main, seems to be a intelligent ban. And of course, it would not be a Georgia College Esports game if they didn't ban out Kyle, our top laners, Aurelia. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
And now the first round of bans are over into a first pick with Cho'Gath as their top laner, it seems to be, as we are in LCS order. And it goes top, jungle, mid, AD carry, and for the final pick, support. And it seems, as a follow-up, Kyle Decarius has picked Fiora. Fiora seems to be a pretty good counter to Cho'Gath because she does true damage, especially on her ult, and the healing can definitely help to counter Cho'Gath ult, so he's not going to one-shot you.
Looks like Georgia College is probably going to be going for a split push comp with this Fiora pick. Would not be surprised if we see Nocturne.
I would not be surprised if we saw Nocturne. Oh, but Jarvan, that's a very strong champion right now. His ultimate, really good at
Oh,
holding
and
people
Young
in.
Harris picks up the Nunu. Why am I not surprised? Because I'm a Nunu main.
Unsurprising, because they figured we were potentially going to pick that into a Malzahar for the mid laner. Malzahar is very suppressive. Now that Malzahar Nunu comp can actually be pretty deadly, as Malzahar is going to hold someone in place for a really long amount of time. And to stop that, they're going to have to CC him instead of the Nunu. So, you know, the longer you hold a Nunu ult, the more damage it's going to do.
All right, looks like Georgia College actually going for a Team fight comp with the J4 Oriana Wombo combo.
Very team oriented right there. That J4 holds them all in. Easy ultimate.
The Cogmouth
And
band
highlight
comes
plays
out.
for our mid laner.
We'll hope we'll be seeing those 4K Elo shockwaves from Emperor John.
And now we're on to the second round of bans, and Georgia College has banned in the second round for the first ban
Cogmouth.
Kog'Maw. Sorry, I don't know
Did you
why.
forget?
Yeah, I
Did you
totally
forget?
forgot his name.
That
That was weird. That's weird.
Shyvana banned out from Young Harris. I'm surprised they
Shyvana.
banned Shyvana because our jungle was already picked.
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
make-
a surprising ban actually. That
Interesting ban, truly an interesting ban.
quite the choice right there. And the Janna ban finally. I'm not quite sure the reasoning behind some of their bans. It seems a little bit uncoordinated, but nonetheless,
Nonetheless, they are still strong bans. Janna
still strong ban. Janna's a
Janna
very
is
annoying
an
champion.
irritating champion to play against. Lulu also irritating.
Terribly
Dolor
irritating.
comes out with a Tristana pick. Pretty classic. Not surprised. We'll
Has
see
Nick been
what
playing Tristana recently?
he has. Tristana, Zaya.
And yeah, I know Zaya tends to be his champion of choice. Very strong right now in the meta, and it seems that
The Zaya Thresh.
Lay 13 has picked Zaya, the enemy 80 carry, with Noah playing Morgana on our team.
Looks like Young Harris has a very strong pick comp with their Cho'Gath, Malzahar, and Thresh picks.
Yeah, it seems to be that they're really going hard on the engages here.
They
but
really don't have too much damage besides their Zaya, though. So they're probably going to be banking on Zaya doing most of their damage.
well,
mean-
in my opinion, what they could do here is kind of go like an off-tank Cho'Gath, as they are going to have a Nunu jungle, and Nunu can be quite the annoyance. He has a lot of movement speed.
Oh,
he has the Blood
definitely.
Boil, which is going to work extremely well with Zaya, as she already has an attack speed boost herself. Not to mention, it's also a movement speed boost. So the fact that they have two sort of off-tanks that they could run to get, the AP damage from Cho'Gath and the true damage that he does with his autos, with the spikes.
Oh, yes.
So that also is huge. But just in general on Georgia College, it seems that the damage output is so much higher. But at the same time, what they have in damage, they lack in tanks. Jarvan can be a pretty good tank, but typically he runs an off-tank build.
Same with Fiora. They
Yeah.
can't take too much damage.
They have nice sustain. Jarvan, if you go the little more damage route with Warrior, you're not going to be tanky at all. But I suspect, as he is the only tank, that Sean John 06 will be going Cinderhulk.
And we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the game starts. During this downtime, we would like to give a shout out to our other sponsor, Home Depot. Now,
Don't tell Home Depot that we're doing this because I'm currently employed at Lowe's, and that may help them.
Home Depot Incorporated is an American home improvement supplies retailing company that sells tools, construction products, and services. Thank you, Home Depot, for always supporting Georgia College.
Yeah. Is there even a Home Depot in Milledgeville?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So how's your day been?
Class at 8 a.m.s.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Dude, it wasn't that bad. I'm just ready for these league games.
Oh, yeah.
Are we allowed
Always.
to bias on the stream, or do we have to be like?
I feel like we're going to be biased against our team.
Yeah, I'm here to kind of throw a little shade,
I mean, that's what I'm here for. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I kind of agreed to do this partially for that, just to really gonna focus on John today. Make sure
Gets a little bit of highlight on John.
I'm gonna take tabs on every CS that he misses. So
All right, let's get a hashtag going.
Can
If
we
you
get
want,
a-
if you think Georgia College is going to win, get a hashtag Georgia College Bobcats to win. If you think Young Harris is going to win, do a
then
hashtag.
get off our stream.
Hashtag. What did I say? Hashtag
Georgia College win. Let's go with that.
Hashtag Georgia College win.
Should have done like GC win.
Yeah, that would have been easier.
Yeah. you know, for our.
I wish
10
we had the
viewers.
you know, the little visual effects they had for LCS. So like,
We could be like sitting back here. They have that like holographed in
green
like
screen.
huge- Yeah, that would be awesome. Like the same like, you know, that sculpture that was behind Worlds.
Yeah,
The giant
yeah, yeah.
like Baron like thing. Have that like right behind
we should
us.
just we should contact the arts department. Tell them, hey, we commissioned them for a Baron sculpture.
Dude, actually, I happen to be pretty good friends with 2 art majors, so I could see if they would like to do something
That'd
like
be
that
cool.
for us.
That'd actually be cool.
Because they're actually really good at like the huge. They did this thing for Christmas where they did like the Grinch, and it's like life size. And
Really?
it's like it's like painted onto their wall. Well, not their wall. It's like a sheet. So they kind of made like a mural. Out
Oh,
of
that'd
it.
be cool. Here, that'd be cool for
Yeah, that'd be
us.
really good for us.
All right, looks like the game is starting soon, very soon. Interesting.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble loading in here. And there we go. Stream is loading in. Here we're getting a little. Okay. Your LaTeX is actually.
Should we go back?
Yeah, try it now. All right, cool. We're good now. Nope. No, we are
No,
not.
we are not.
Having sizing issues. Do you have your file? I think LaTeX. It kind of looks like LaTeX is messing with it. If you want to save that, and then. What class do you have LaTeX in?
This isn't my computer.
Oh,
This
whose
isn't.
computer is this? Oh, David's. What do you have?
Whose computer is it?
It's David's. Whose is this? Oh, is it Victoria's?
Is? Can we save it? We don't want the entire stream to see it. Whatever it is.
What's happening? See it on the stream.
It like does this for a while, and then it starts like blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Out of it. Okay. You got it.
All right, let's try to reconnect to this game.
I mean, LaTeX is just, it's kind of like a word processor like
That's what I
Microsoft
thought,
Word,
yeah.
so it shouldn't be affecting it. It's just weird because when it opens up, the file expands, but
This is a really cool feature that adds game. It's actually called seizure mode.
yeah.
Right.
Can we cut the sound?
Yeah, we don't know what's happening.
And we are back from technical
We are
difficulties.
back once again.
And here we are straight into the bot lane. The blue side is Francis Marion, and the top side is red side, our side, Georgia College.
Full screen mode. We can go back to full screen mode, right?
Yeah, it should be fine now.
All right, let's fix this resolution too. Oh, I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Close enough.
No, we're good. We were
No,
just
we're
changing
good. We're just changing
resolution.
the resolution.
What have you done, Anthony?
We're
What have you done?
I'll change. All right, give me a second.
That could be why.
Yeah, I think this I can handle this resolution.
But it can hit. All right, but it can handle this.
It apparently can.
All right,
So
let's go. And we're in.
we're good now. Okay. And a gank coming in the mid lane. Close, but no cigar. Top lane, we can see that
Fiora pops the ulti. Nunu ganking.
Nunu ganking.
Not sure if that flash was ideal.
Questionable flash from the
She
top
might
laner,
be able
Kyle.
to get out though.
We'll have to talk
And
about
she's
him.
out. First blood goes to Young Harris. That was a questionable flash from Fiora,
Extremely questionable.
but nothing that Fiora can't come back from.
Definitely not. Fiora's early game is very strong compared to Cho'Gath, actually. Cho'Gath has a very weak early game, running into some mana problems. As you can see, he pretty much no mana left after that kill, and that was with the assistance of Nunu.
As Tyler once
Damage.
said, you have no mana,
Okay.
right?
think
I
every-
can't add the other word. But he has no mana, and it looks like Orianna is also running low on mana during this little mid lane fiasco. Jarvan coming in for the gank.
And pulling up the numbers right now, you can see that top lane has a huge lead in CS, up by 16, which is honestly to be expected. You can see that Cho'Gath is heavily itemizing against Fiora, because we do actually have a little bit AD heavy of a team with Fiora, Jarvan, and Tristana. But still, it's very, very wise to itemize against a champion that is going to outlane you extremely hard. Now into the bot lane, we can see that already carry Nick is down by 2 CS to theirs. Part of that may be due to the Targons. But running Morgana into Thresh is a very, very annoying thing to deal with as a Thresh player. And you can see that our jungler has donated the blue to our mid laner. It's a very common thing, especially with champions such as Orianna, who, they want to have a lot of pressure in lane. Post 6, her ultimate is devastating. So it's always good to have enough mana to be able to pull off those combos. I think the full combo on Orianna is roughly like 220 mana, if I can't remember. So the blue buff is going to give you what you need. And as you can see, our top laner punishing the Cho'Gath, holding him off that CS, freezing that wave in. It's inevitably is going to slow push into our tower, but it seems that he actually wants to push the wave and force this Cho'Gath to back or come down and ward, instantly clearing that pink ward that Cho'Gath has placed, pushing him even further behind in lane. Go mid, go mid, go mid. Let's use this. Like that. And our jungler right now, taking the scuttle with a little bit, as you can see, that
Little bit
damage
too
from
low,
Malzahar
little
going
bit
in,
too low
taking
and trying to
down.
get that.
Oh, close. And another kill for Francis Marion.
Getting caught out like that when 2 levels behind the mid laner, not the best idea.
Not the best idea. Very, very risky play. Kind of overextending for that scuttle, especially as the mid laner was back buying. So questionable play, but nonetheless, you can see that our gold lead is actually still.
Fiora actually died
Fiora
again.
getting caught up
Let's
top
go
lane.
See. Let's go back 15 seconds. Let's see what happened there, because I
You
think
see
she just
Nunu
got
comes in for
soloed.
the gank and getting soloed by a Nunu
And
as
this is
Fiora.
just how strong Nunu is right now.
Nunu is just so strong.
Bop,
and just
slap.
walking up and auto
Bop,
attacking
slap, dead. And there he is.
with the BM back in the middle of the lane.
I thought we signed a contract that said
I
no
was aware of a
taunting.
contract
I was
that we
aware of a
signed.
contract that we signed, but you know, no questions asked.
No questions asked.
get
And
back.
moving on here, we can see that
Bot lane.
bot lane has actually picked up. Nick has picked up 2 kills. Well, let's go back 15 seconds.
Let's go back 15 seconds. Let's see what happened here in this bot lane where our Tristana was able to pick up 2 kills.
Morgana landing an amazing stun, taking the first damaging hit from the Thresh ultimate. Trying to
Sacrifices
zone
herself.
out, definitely sacrificing into a very, very easy 1v1. Even burning the heal of the Xayah. Ooh. Very nice dodge from
Burning
Nick,
the
as you
heal,
can see.
burning the stopwatch, and our ADC is in good
Picking up
position
2
right now.
kills. Very, very
position.
good for Tristana early game.
We'll go ahead and skip back to live.
Back to live. Here we go. And not much has changed since then. No new kills. and all
Infernal Drake
objectives.
is up right now. Both junglers are in the bot side trying to get control of this Infernal Drake.
As you can see, Georgia College is taking the Scuttle Crab, granting us nearly permanent vision for the next minute and a half or so, which is high threat situation.
Thresh
As you
might
can
be
see, Thresh
dead.
getting caught out.
And he's dead. They're going to go for the Nunu kill.
A lot of damage coming in from Nunu, but as you can see, that Morgana snare into the jump from Nick, flash from Nunu coming in.
This should be
John
a kill.
flashing.
Tristana gets another
And-
kill. And I think that's it. And they should be going for Infernal Drake right about now.
2 kills picked up in the bot lane, and
Malzahar
it
shoving
seems to
in
be a
mid.
rotation to the Infernal, and I expect to see that our mid laner is going to actually go and help defend that tower in a minute unless the wave pushes back. But as you can see, you know, oh, an amazing catch by the support, actually maybe
Might be a
resulting in a
kill.
kill. Oh my, and the dragon, what a beautiful
Kill on
play.
Xayah, Infernal Dragon. Now, Malzahar might be able to get this tower.
Yeah,
but
it seems that
most likely
Malzahar,
not.
that trade is going to be for first tower gold, which is a lump sum of gold. The gold in this game, the difference is not as much as you would think, and especially after this first tower, that's going to be closing even more.
Now, Malzahar already has, what was it, 1 kill? 1 kill. So getting this and getting a tower, he's going to be extremely ahead.
Well, with respect to the top laner, but as you can see, our mid laner has happened to pick up 2 kills and an assist, and even after those 2 plays, roaming bot lane and getting a dragon,
Still ahead in CS.
he's still ahead in CS. And as you can see, Tristana has come up with a gold lead in the bot lane as well, resulting in 2 kills, 2 assists, and a 5 CS lead, which is
And although Fiora is 2 kills behind Cho'Gath is nearly, or she's almost double Cho'Gath's
Nearly.
CS.
and it seems to be that a kill is worth about, disregarding first blood, of course, a kill is usually worth about
100, 150.
Yeah, it's like 18 CS though, is
Yeah.
what the equivalent of that is. So taking away the single kill and no assist that Cho'Gath has, he's still roughly 30 CS ahead, which is quite the lead. As you can see, our bot laner is a whole 2 levels ahead of theirs. The damage that he's going to be able to put out is pretty good.
They're going in on the
Oh,
kill.
close. Oh, that Morgana.
Forcing the Xayah ulti. Almost getting it.
But as you can see, we've taken exhaust as well. They're still going in on the Thresh. The
should be a
snare. This
kill
should
on
definitely be a
Thresh.
kill. Let's see if the Morgana takes it. She could have, but
Tristana,
what a good
3-0.
support. What a good support. If that was me, I would
3-0.
have taken that kill. And
Do you
clearing out
wonder
the pink
why
words.
we got subbed?
Yeah, because we
I
do
feel
stuff like that.
we do stuff
Coming
like
in.
that. Coming in.
Oh, what an amazing play by the Nunu. Just getting out by the.
This is what I like to see from Nunu.
We can
Always
see our jungler
constantly
coming in.
pressuring. Jungler going in for the kill.
Jungler going in for the kill.
Oh,
an
and the
amazing
support from
play.
Orianna.
Wow, and Orianna coming in with the ultimate unseen. They don't have wards deep in our jungle yet. They have a red buff warded.
And bot
but-
lane gets the turret.
Get a kill mid lane. Bot lane also gets a turret. And it seems that mid wave is actually going to be pushing into their tower. Nice damage going to be done right there. Nunu coming in, intercepting that wave, preventing any tower damage. As you can see, the bot lane is going in for a little cheeky kill here. Exhausting immediately. Going into that, the missed
That'll be the
point blank
kill.
Q by our support. That looks like a bench next game.
Now, with no other objectives on the map right now besides Rift Herald, Young Harris and our team should be looking into controlling top, to get that Rift Herald, and most likely pushing in that top lane to get those side turrets.
Especially since we've taken their bot tower, so that the bot lane is going to be forced to stay bot side to have to, you know, kind of push down our tower and, so to speak, catch up. But the thing about losing that mid tower first is it opens a lot of pressure to our jungler. So Nunu is now more freely able to kind of roam in because he has another route to escape. So that's something that we're going to have to be on the lookout for. Nice crits coming in.
You are still
on the top
doing
laner.
ample damage, even with Cho'Gath.
Building essentially full armor. As you can see, the Fiora has actually picked up a pair of Nike Air Maxes.
And
Back to our sponsor.
back to our sponsors, we would go ahead and like to shout out Nike once again. Would you like to start?
Yeah, now Nike Incorporated is an American multinational corporation that is engaged in designing, development, manufacturing, and worldwide marketing, and the sales of footwear, apparel, equipment, and accessories and services. I don't know what services Nike is offering, but
Nike services are my services, baby. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Hopefully.
Orianna with the pressure on Malzahar. Looks like Malzahar can't do
It
much
seems
against
bot
Malzahar
lane is
anymore.
pushing
Oh, but
in.
Nunu
Nunu
running
coming in for a gank. Counter gank follow up, but now let's remember.
what a
an amazing
beautiful,
ult, holding both of them
ulti.
in, holding both of them in.
That should
big
be 2
damage
kills.
coming in.
Big damage from
big
Nunu,
damage
but
coming
that's
in.
kill. They're dead.
Is this it? Is Nunu done? Nunu is done. A double kill picked up from our mid laner Johnny.
Beautiful communication between
And
our mid
as
laner
we have,
and jungler.
we have their bot tower and they do not have ours. We have the rotation from our bot lane up to the mid.
Now this will most likely
Jarvan.
be going into Rift Herald now, I believe.
It seems that our jungler may happen to be a little bit low. We're just going to get the Scuttle Crab here, it looks like. Or not.
They're going straight into the Rift Herald. All
Straight
right,
into
straight,
the Rift
straight into
Herald.
Rift Herald. I
Straight
respect
into the
it.
Rift Herald with no jungler, but their jungler is dead too. Our jungler rotating up, actually deciding to come in and
And
help.
this should be a free Herald. Nobody's
Free
there to
Herald.
stop them. I see a Thresh, but what's
They
Thresh
actually
gonna
don't
do?
even have vision of what's going
And
on.
look
here.
at that damage from Orianna.
Orianna right now being 5-0, extremely far ahead. Not only is she 5-0, but she also has the second most CS in the game, right behind our top laner, of course. Nunu coming in, adding a little pressure, but not quite able to catch anyone. Everyone seems to be backing on both teams, kind of, you know, refreshing, getting health, buying new items. And the waves are now pushing.
Now Georgia College can do 2 things with this Rift Herald. They can send it down mid and put even more pressure on that inner mid turret, or they could use it as a side top pressure.
I personally think that they're going to pressure mid at first, push the waves out as you typically do, and then they're going to rotate top, either placing it mid lane and letting the Rift itself push that tower while they push that top tower, sort of as a diversion. Because, but as you can see, they're kind of coming in hot right here on the Infernal Dragon, Pink Ward. They're attempting to pull it out, but it's always good to clear vision first. Have
Now,
vision
this
of
is
their
dangerous
jungler.
because Dragon can easily be stolen by Nunu.
Yeah,
Very
Nunu,
easily.
Nunu is an amazing jungler because he can flash, consume, and then smite. That combo does about 2,000 damage late game to epic monsters. So, you know, there's really no outsmiting a Nunu.
Even at mid game, that thing's doing 1.6K.
Ooh, that snare almost
Abs-
catching Nunu. That would have been a little bit devastating as we are now over 3,000 gold ahead of their team. As we have vision of all of them mid lane, our top laner.
Fiora going in for the
going
duel
in
against
top.
Shogath. Looks like there's not much Shogath can do
An
against
amazing,
Fiora.
Wow, he parried
And
both.
the flash comes out from Cho'Gath.
He parried both the silence and the knockup, which is a phenomenal play. As you can see, Cho'Gath has to back because of that. Tristana not quite showing herself top yet, letting that wave push.
And they summoned the Herald.
And the Herald is summoned top lane. The amount of pressure that's about to come here, they're not going to be able to react in time. Yep, just one-shotting that tower. Nothing they could have done. As you can see, the Morgana's coming in through the jungle. Hits a snare on the Nunu, keeping him out of the fight. Orianna being able to come in from the side, have pressure, and then looks like a blue buff may be stolen here. And we still do have the Herald pushing. Now, something that's really good about Malzahar, when the other team has a Herald, you can actually use his minions to stop it from progressing, which, you know, it is a stalling tactic, but it does work very well. The blue buff being contested and not stolen. retreating after they've taken the top tower to kind of reset.
Looks like they're trying to reset and go for the 20-minute Baron that the enemy team might do. With the Cho'Gath Nunu, they have a lot of objective control that red team does not
The
have.
typical jungle clear and, surprisingly, a rare spawn of the 3rd Infernal Drake, which will be up in about 4 minutes. So
If Georgia College gets this 3rd Infernal Drake plus Baron, that's looking to be game for Young Harris.
it's very difficult to stop at a team that has 3 Infernal Drakes, especially a team that is heavily damage oriented, as they're going to be able to one-shot people extremely fast. And they can do so without their full skill set, meaning they can still use abilities to retreat or maybe defend towers and such. As you
Whereas
see,
on the other hand, Young Harris, most of their damage comes from their ultimate. Cho'Gath
This
is
is
true
true.
damage, Malzahar's suppression. You know, Nunu's ulti, not so much because you don't really get it off, but that is still a heavy damage dealer. But like I said, that's all in their ultimates.
all in their ultimates. Now, it seems that Georgia College has gone for more of an AoE based
Oh, but the
team.
4-man bot, are they
Four-man
going to
bot,
try
they're
to
actually
get
going
this
to attempt to
Fiora?
push the tower. Fiora
And-
lane swapping, as is expected to see, but
Dangerous position for Morgana, but she gets out safely.
she gets that safely.
This might be a kill on Cho'Gath
John?
by Oriana.
Emperor John able to come in, push down, poking down the Cho'Gath,
And
as you
Cho'Gath
can
is
see,
dead.
and he falls. John being able to push that tower with the jungler top
This will
lane.
most likely be the inner top.
So they're attempting to dive and trade. It seems
The flash out of the Nunu ulti. Back in, getting the ulti proc.
Nunu
Will she be able
actually
to get this kill?
Nunu flashing into the tower. Thresh tanking right now.
Fiora still alive. Oh,
Oh, just a couple seconds, and her parry would have been up. Being able to parry that auto attack, maybe being able to parry a hook or a flay by Thresh, resulting in a stun, would have turned that around. But as you can see, Georgia College just rotating so much better. Being able to take that, trading that tier 2 top tower
This
for
might
that tier
actually
1
be-
bot and counter jungling. And after this rotation alone, because they have that, as you can see, Fiora will be able to come into team fights with her teleport, being up in about 30 seconds or so. Definitely enough time for that next dragon. She'll be able to split push top, drawing pressure, being able to pull maybe 1 or 2 people. Xayah, maybe Thresh coming with her, because it's very difficult to stop Fiora. She's extremely good at split pushing, especially after she has that Tiamat and the Triforce.
I was about to say, those 20 seconds right before, that would have been an opportune time for Georgia College to take Baron. Nunu was dead. 2 people were in their bot lane. However, they did not go for it, which I'm not surprised about because we're not very good about making Baron plays.
You're right. I agree with that. I agree. But I do myself, I'm not the best at shot calling Baron plays, as I will go for any Baron.
I respect that.
I have faith in our jungler, especially Anthony. So he says he can make a smite. We're going for the Baron.
Anthony. Who is this Anthony person you're talking about?
The one and only, an amazing
Oh, an
hook by the
amazing
Thresh,
hook from
knocked him
Thresh.
back. I don't think that we'll actually be able to any follow up on that. Still, nonetheless, that was quite the hook. Buffered by our 80 carry. Had Thresh taken that hook, it may have actually been a bad decision. As a Thresh, it's tempting to take those kind of hooks, though. Playmaking and highlights are always on the mind of a Thresh player.
It's the Lee Sin of supports.
It really is. It's fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
As you can see, Dragon spawning within about a minute or so. They're
This
still
will be
pressuring
interesting.
the top side for Georgia College top, but Kyle still split pushing that bot lane.
Georgia College might just give up the Infernal, go for the Baron, and say, let's just rush them and end the game. Because
You know-
that's something they could easily do.
Actually, I think they're going to have to go Baron. They drew
Yep,
the
and
pressure
they-
of the 2
They
bot
start
lane,
the Baron.
almost like I said would happen, except, they decided to split push bot lane just to get that tier 2, as we do have the tier 2 mid. Nunu being
Heavy damage on
heavy
the
damage
Nunu,
on
and
Nunu.
Nunu is down.
Nunu's
Their
ultimate
jungler is down.
did a lot. The knockup, wow. Okay, a lot of damage here. As you can see, Cho'Gath ulting and instantly killing, but it wasn't the best person to target. Morgana is the support, and while that would be nice,
And another hook from
another
Thresh.
phenomenal hook. Hooking him actually out of the redemption, which, is not much, but still that heal is nice to be. It's always nice as an 80 carry to be capped out on health.
Now, Georgia College is definitely going for this Infernal Dragon now.
Going for their 3rd Infernal Drake, and as you look at the warding around Baron, so obvious that the other team has no chance, not to mention their team is dead, but 3 pink wards around Baron alone.
They're ensured that the blue team will not sneak this Baron.
It is, yeah, it's not getting snuck. Those pink wards are indefinite until cleared, and honestly, I don't think there'll ever be enough time to clear 3 pink wards without
Absolutely.
being collapsed on first.
Now, I
so.
think this is where we learned from our mistake in our previous practice. The same exact scenario happened where we had gone for a dragon. However, we had not warded Baron. And so the enemy team was actually able to sneak Baron. As you can see, our team has learned from their mistakes,
Yes,
putting
we've
down
realized
3 pink wards for Baron.
quite the improvement. Honestly, the jungling this game at first was a little shaky, but we've seen some good ganks into mid lane, being able to pick up a double kill for our mid laner. John being one of the strongest players on our team.
Absolutely.
So because of that, he's also the team captain, and he can capitalize heavily on leads. Clearing out wards right now, you can see that our team is racing towards Baron. Nunu clearing his blue buff, our team coming in, throwing a ward over the wall, just being sure we still have vision and know where their
Now,
team
Fiora
is.
still in bot lane split pushing. She has that teleport. She has the ability to come into the Baron fight at any time.
And that is actually a huge advantage, because the thing about Cho'Gath is he's not going to be as effective of a split pusher as Fiora, clearing out all of their wards. Now the enemy team has no vision of Baron. Once again, pink wards being placed. They cleared 2, but there are still 2 pink wards left. Right away, look at these wards. They've placed so many wards, it would be nearly impossible to clear in the single duration of a scanner. Taking the scuttle even more, baiting this Baron out, hiding behind the wall. The other team, the enemy team, is unaware of what's happening here. They're going to be forced to face check. They don't realize coming in, Jarvan with the flash, jumping
Flash in, ulti.
instantly ulting the Xayah.
What a beautiful Xayah ulti, though.
Nunu coming in the back line. Wow, Morgana actually being taken down. Fiora coming in, but that ultimate popping off with the Morgana shield, being able to take a ton of damage, not being able to be CC'd. Malzahar can't do anything. He has no ulti. He has a silence in the back, being flanked by the Cho'Gath. But as you can see, Nunu is caught out top. Bad positioning could actually result in our team still getting a Baron. Even though at first it seemed to be such a good trade. Nunu running on the lower side of health, trying to avoid our team. But it seems that our J4, with the wards, is able to just come right in, electrocute, enough damage. The smite consumed by Nunu to try and stay alive and be able to run away. But alas, it was just not enough.
Young
Emperor
Harris
John
Xayah
coming in.
played that so well.
I would like to
ulted by
focus on
Jarvan.
that.
She got ulted. Here, while they get this Baron,
It is guaranteed.
Let's go
Let's
back.
jump back a couple seconds and look at this Xayah's play. What actually an incredible play. Very predictable, but still nonetheless the reaction time that takes is still. I'm impressed.
So
I know-
hiding. Young Harris cannot see red team right now.
They have
Jarvan
no
comes
idea where
in.
we
Jarvan
are.
comes in. EQ flashes on the Xayah. Orion ulti, but Xayah dodges it with her R.
So
what a
actually,
beautiful ulti.
My first time around, I actually didn't see that she had dodged the Orianna ulti as well. That would have been a devastating play right there. It probably would have been enough to potentially end the game.
Had Fiora not come in and killed Xayah, that could have been Young Harris's Baron.
Honestly, it could have. The thing is, the fact that Orianna and Jarvan both used their ults to kill one person, but were
did not.
unsuccessful, that is huge in a team fight. So even though the Xayah died, from her position, she actually did everything she could have. That was a
Absolutely.
phenomenal
Absolutely.
play. Very, very annoying as a team when you have to deal with a champion as such who can dodge so many abilities with her ultimate, but
Now
still
we'll
just
see
was
what-
not enough to win that team fight for them, as they are roughly about 10k gold behind right now.
An
Another
ulti
ultimate
from-
and instantly
Malzahar is
deleted.
dead.
Instantly deleted.
This should be
This could potentially
The
be the
inhibitor
final
turret.
push. It will be the inhibitor turret, and as you can see, our bot laner is pushing that bot lane, and top lane is slow pushing towards their tower. So by the time that we get there, it may seem that Nick actually zoning with minuscule amounts of health. The Morgana coming in, actually tanking the tower for so long, but Fiora coming in, cleaning up some kills, and finally the Morgana falling. Now, they have to wait a second because that trade, but as there are only 2 people left,
and a
one,
quick
I might
kill,
say,
a
a
quick
quick kill,
kill.
instant comboed. There's not much
Xayah
Cho'Gath
coming
can
in a
do
little
here
bit too
himself.
close to that. extremely
Malzahar-
fed Oriana.
Malzahar coming in, he does have his ultimate. He will be able to do some damage. And like I said, that top lane still slow pushing.
That's 2 inhibitors for Georgia College. Most likely they will be backing, resetting, and going in for that final push at top lane.
And another dragon will be up soon. I doubt that they'll go for it. It is an Earth Dragon, which is good, but as we have most of their towers now, it may not be worth taking, honestly. Georgia College expected to be able to come in and clean up this game. A very quick, swift end. 30 minutes in so far, and it is a tremendous lead by Georgia College. The lead actually even picking up more since I last said. It is approaching a 13K lead now. Extremely far ahead. The CS from our champions comparatively is actually, you know, it's incredible. Our top laner is out CSing by nearly 100 CS. Our jungler a little bit behind, but if you can look at his kill participation, the kill participation is pretty high. Usually as a jungler, you want somewhere above 50 to 60%. Which
Georgia College picks up
is
the Earth
definitely
Dragon,
hitting.
most likely making that final push into their base.
Honestly, with that extra tower damage, it may or may not have been worth it. They may have just been able to push out and take the tower. I still think, if I'm not mistaken, one of them has a Baron timer.
They lose that Baron now. They lose the Baron.
It ran out. The
They
timer ran out. Okay.
However, I don't think they'll be needing Baron anymore.
Yeah.
Two inhibitors. It's
Two
done.
inhibitors. Tristana coming in with huge crits. 879 crits on the minion wave. Massive damage. Oriana with the double buffs. Extremely far ahead. The highest level champion in the game at level 16.
Georgia College with a 12K gold lead.
That is 2 levels higher than anybody else on their team. And Thresh actually taking that hook, hitting Tristana with it, with his flay, but
Thresh goes down.
yeah, Thresh goes down. Morgana jumping into the backlines, zoning with their ultimate, going down.
Sacrifice herself.
Coming in, and we can see that the Jarvan is locked down right now. Jarvan going down, but
Their
also
entire team going down.
Fiora taking so many with her.
And this
Jarvan
should be the
taking
game.
all the damage. This looks like Tristana taking the inhibitor. You're never too safe. You don't know what could potentially happen. 2 towers down, and this
And this
seems
is
to
game
be
1 for Georgia
that
College.
Georgia College will take game 1.
Huh?
Okay.
For what?
Picture.
Picture for what?
The column.
Dude, I had to edit that. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, it's like no, I think like the headset was interview with one of the players after the picture. Oh, we're gonna interview our players. Wait, who should we interview? I think we should interview.
Nick didn't do anything like crazy. Kyle. You want to interview Kyle? Should we interview him about the 1v1?
Yes. Why? Can you explain? Kyle, you can interview after we take it. Yeah, we're gonna. We got leave the stream dead for too long. Person I know.
No, we are not sponsored by anyone.
Coming in for a post-game interview. Our top laner was supposed to come in, but seems to be scared of the casters. So instead, we have our team captain, John Bills. Now, Mr. Bills, what are your thoughts on that game? We had some technical difficulties in the first 2 or 3 minutes, but obviously we didn't really miss any plays.
Yeah.
Coming in, we actually saw in the beginning, Sean coming in for a gank, unsuccessful at first, but then later coming back, getting caught, actually giving your lane a kill
In the mid lane.
in the mid lane.
Yeah, the first gank is usually just to blow flash or something.
Yes.
And or Malzahar's spell shield, which makes it so you can't crowd control him.
Yeah.
So once you do that, it's really easy to come back and gank him. So that was basically the game plan there.
Yeah, that was pretty much anticipated from that. But then coming back about 4 or 5 minutes later and getting you a double kill. Now that definitely turned the tide of the game. At first,
absolutely.
we were down, what I believe, 3 or maybe even 4 kills. It was 4-0, but then a kill was swiftly picked
Right.
up. And from there, it seemed that we snowballed the rest of the game, very rarely giving up any kills or if even any objectives other than the mid lane turret.
Right, that's what shows through with our teamwork. So they got some really good individual picks early in the early game. They got some good ganks, but our macro game is just much better. We know how to rotate better. We knew where to be on the map, so we were able to make better plays and just come out on top just solely through macro gameplay.
In general, it did seem that all objectives during this game had gone to Georgia College. The enemy team not getting a single dragon other than a single tower. It seems that that's all they were able to get during the entire game. Pretty standard game, I would say, looking at it.
Yeah.
Going into game 2, do you have any ideas as to what kind of comp you're going to be running or anything that you would like to improve on that you noticed you may have not done so well, even through your victory in game 1?
I would say a little bit of our shot calling was not the cleanest because with Nunu and Cho'Gath, both of them can secure an objective like Baron or Dragon
With their
very
ultimates,
easily.
very
yeah,
well.
very
Cho'Gath
easily.
ultimate, Nunu consume smite.
Yeah, you always have to be super careful that one of them just comes up and steals it, even though it's a numbers advantage.
There's a huge possibility in that case.
Yeah, we're probably gonna run with a similar comp if I had to say so, but we'll adapt it based on what they pick. We're looking at the same bands probably. Maybe we'll change it up. We'll see.
All right, John. Well, thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming in and talking to us post game, and we look forward to seeing your second game.
All right, yeah, of course.
I think JT did it. JT ran he ran ads. Did he really? Nice. Should we do that? I don't. Dude, we were saying mid game, we were like, oh, our sponsor Nike, and just doing random stuff. I literally work at Lowe's, so I was like, let's go to fix it. Oh, you can. We should mute us.
Now we are going to take a small break, letting the players rest their hands, kind of talk about game plans and what they intend to do for the next game. So game 2 is expected to start around 9:30, and the stream will come on around that time. It's your caster, Ethan, and I will be back shortly.
Unless you brought the hard drive. All right, you can mute me now. But yeah.
Better not have that on stream.
I know, right?
Coming into the banning phase here, we can see that the teams have now switched side, where Georgia College will be on the bottom side, the blue side, and Francis Marion will, or Young Harris. Why do I keep saying Francis Marion?
Yeah, I know, dude.
I
Looks
did it like 5 times on the other stream.
looks like Georgia College doesn't want to deal with the Nunu because of the slaps.
Seems that our top laner Kyle had a lot of influence on that ban of a Nunu.
seems like our top laner Kyle doesn't like getting slapped by Nunu, so it's getting banned.
The outplay last game was impeccable. Nunu literally walked up and auto-attacked him to death. Coming in, you can see that they're really trying to keep us from getting Shyvana, and especially Aurelia. Aurelia has been banned every single game that we have
that's
played
true.
as Georgia College. Has not gotten through one single game. And I think we're on our like 10th or 15th game now, so they really don't want him getting Aurelia. Honestly, he doesn't even actually play Aurelia anymore. It's more of a diversion tactic. We always kind of throw him under.
No, it's not. Should I go over there? He says my mic's muted. Can I go over there real quick?
Yeah.
Anthony, are you good? Should I come over there?
They can't hear me.
Oh, yeah.
Coming in through the first banning phase, we can see a Kog'Maw, Jinx, and a Nunu ban. Very similar to last game's bans. And almost exact bans, except for, order changing, of course, for Young Harris with the Azir, Aurelia, and Shyvana. Lulu being picked in the first round for Young Harris. And you can see that, as I was talking about last game, Lulu is such an oppressive champion. If they actually let that Lulu Tristana through, it may be very difficult to counter. But actually, it did already get through. And you can see our bot lane is also kind
Georgia College has their hyper carry bot lane themselves.
with
Looks like they're
Twitch
going to
and
lock in
Janna.
Sejuani.
Seems that Sejuani is going to be amazing peel. We're putting a lot of pressure on our AD carry this game, it seems to be so far with the Janna. Very low damage support, if not the lowest damage support, other than Soraka, of course.
What kind of top lane are you expecting here? I'm thinking a bruiser top lane.
Definitely either a bruiser. Georgia College likes to kind of follow around the combo of a pretty heavily damage-based team coming in really quick with an Ahri, a Malzahar ban, being sure that they don't get Malzahar again. The other enemy team banning Galio and Orianna, really trying to lock down our mid laner. But back to what you had said, I believe that our top laner is going to go a little bit more aggressive this game than he did before. Fiora being a pretty aggressive bruiser herself, but we did not have quite as strong of a tank in the previous game where Sejuani is
Super beefy.
pretty much a brick wall.
Yep.
Like, you seen that wall from Game of Thrones? That's what Sejuani is. It's the big ice wall, You're not really going to be able to
Yep.
burn her down really quick, especially with the team that they have chosen with, Kane.
Corky.
Corky
Wow.
as the mid lane pick. We're expecting to see sort of maybe a hybrid Corky, as we don't have very much
Yeah.
AP. And coming in, our last pick is the top laner. We'll see what we choose to lock in. With our team, it should Jax.
Yep.
That's surprising. Bruisers are typically out of meta.
Old
They're out
bruiser.
of meta a little bit right now. But
This is looking like another split pushing game.
our top
sure.
laner is very good at split
Yeah.
pushing. Kyle tends to push really hard in the top lane, and as you can see from last game, it can be pretty successful. And there's the AP coming in for Young Harris. Syndra, very strong, but at the same time, Syndra into Corky, it may be a little bit difficult of a matchup for the Corky, just because Syndra has a lot more range than that Corky does pre-6. Pre-6, that Syndra is going to be able to poke him with the spells that Corky does not quite have the range to go through. Very weak early game, but late game, the sustained damage that Corky has will probably outdamage Syndra, especially with
That's
those
true. That's true.
rockets.
Georgia College is going all in late game. Looks like with Twitch, Jax, that's going to be a monster late game.
Especially Janna. Janna has
Right.
huge shields, which is going to be amazing, especially because Jax is pretty much a one-dimensional champion, only being able to either use his escape to engage or disengage. There's not much. Is a very linear champion, not too much room for flashy plays. You either usually just kind of jump in with
Right.
your stun, hit him twice, and then use your auto attack reset for the third proc with his ultimate damage, and it pretty much erases anyone that he goes in on other than tanks,
It's
of course.
gonna be really interesting to see Jax versus Malphite, considering Malphite's probably just gonna build full tank. I'm interested to see if Jax is gonna be able to actually do anything against Malphite.
Malphite was actually a pretty good pick here. Malphite
Yeah,
being one of the
yeah.
strongest champions against AD
Yeah,
champions.
Malphite's looking really good against the Jax Twitch with his E and just full armor, but luckily they have a lot of hybrid with Corki and Jax too. So we'll
Corki,
see.
his passive enables him to do about 80% of his auto attack damage as magic damage, if
yep.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
we have a lot of hybrid damage coming in through there. Twitch, just massive AoE damage once he's able to build that Runon's IE. And, depending on the situation of the game, static, PD, rapid fire, just depending on what's happening in the game and the user's or dealer's choice. So,
I'm excited to see the Kane play. He's supposedly a really good Kane player, so we'll see if he goes blue or red. Probably blue or red, but
Red Kane is the one that has a ton of healing,
Yeah.
if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. It
it's
is
a tank. It's a bruiser.
it is unrealistic. The amount of sustain that Kane has is it's pretty crazy. With
Yep.
the damage and the mobility that you get being Kane with a dash over a wall, you can literally run through walls if you use. You've got a lot of options to escape. Plus, every time you go through the wall or terrain, you gain health with that ability. So,
It's gonna be interesting to see their play style. If they're just gonna just all in every time with Malphite, or if they're gonna wait for Georgia College to go in. It'll be interesting because they're gonna have to commit since it's looking like a split push comp. But it's going to be really hard for Young Harris to commit to a fight with a Jana on their team, on the other team.
yes, this is true. The
Yeah.
disengage that Jana offers a team is definitely incredible. But not only the disengage, but the shields, the healing, the movement speed actually can be useful for engaging if Jana happens to be ahead of others. With the new removal of Talisman of Ascension, she's no longer able to speed up people as she did before. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
as a
Didn't know
support player, I found out about that myself today. They took away Face of the Mountain. They took away Sightstone.
that. Oh, yeah.
They took
I
away
heard
all
about
of that, so
Yeah,
now you
that's
can
crazy.
only directly build into the support
That's
items.
crazy, wow.
It's definitely weird. It's like almost forcing you to build those items first now, where as some supports it was actually better to delay building them. You just build second tier coin, so you're getting 40 gold. Then you just build your Sightstone, and then you kind of go into other items, and then finally late game upgrading. That was my personal preference. I also go a bit more aggressive in the support lane. So I would always opt to build either more damage or, sustain items to help me push through lane, kind of suppress them under the tower. But that's a personal choice in play style. Not many
Honestly,
people.
I'm just happy that the Relic Shield meta is gone. That was just terrible.
I agree.
Oh,
Vayne with Overheal Relic Shield was a little bit
Worst.
ignorant.
Yeah.
It was
nope,
definitely
terrible.
nothing enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're not seeing more like just laning phase oriented champions. And I'm surprised that we're still seeing like hyper carries like Twitch and Tristana. I was really expecting I don't know, stuff like Xayah. Well, Xayah's always been good, but
Xayah is
other
definitely-
things like I don't know, like Varus or like Misfortune. I don't know.
Oh, that looks clean. Everyone on our team is actually platinum.
Wow.
Nice plat borders.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Everyone has a skin. This is going well. Oh, Lulu doesn't have a skin.
Oh, Lulu and Kane. But
Yep.
our team does. Team skin. Actually, that Bear Cavalry Sejuani skin, I actually really like that skin.
Yeah,
It's one
it's
of my
pretty good.
favorite ones.
It came out for a release on Russia servers.
Okay. And that Sacred Sword Janna, that's actually a relatively new skin. I think a month old or so, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. So we will see how this goes for Georgia College. Loading in, it seems to be just waiting on a couple more players. And honestly, with the team that Young Harris has, it's pretty much guaranteed engage with the Malphite. But that is also saying that the rest of the team is in range, because
That's
early
true.
game,
That's true.
early game that Tristana's range hasn't really built up yet.
Yep.
So she can't really. Malphite may be able to go in and get nice CC, and he gets a great ultimate. But the thing is, if you don't have good follow up, it's pointless. Whereas with a split pushing team, your team could potentially lose a team fight, which happens with split pushing comps.
That's true.
But you still get a tower from it, and you can still rotate and defend your tower depending on how minion waves are.
Right.
Split pushing is a little bit safer of a route, but it can backfire heavily, especially when trying to take objectives. If you're not split pushing hard enough, you know, you can actually hurt your team because you're never there for team fights. If you fall behind, you can't actually split push effectively because everyone is going to be able to like just solo you, so you're not drawing the pressure that you need to. And it seems we've loaded in, but the game is having a little bit of errors. We have problems like every time
Yeah.
we start this.
Oh, there we go.
And there we go.
Nice. Oh, it's getting there.
We're getting there. Slowly but
Windows open.
surely,
Yeah.
champions are loading in, and the game begins. A little helicopter.
This
from
game is
Tristana.
definitely going to depend on whether Jax can get a hit or not, or just like even be even in lane.
Starting with Young Harris on the top side, and Georgia College on the bot side. There was talk of our mid laner going Zoe. He had been practicing her a little bit, especially during scrims, but
Yep.
it was decided against, obviously.
I feel
The-
like Corki is probably the better option in this.
Definitely,
for sure.
definitely. Zoe would, she's a good champion, but just not really quite for this comp. She's very good in
Right.
poke team comps, and Janna as a support is not good at poking. So there's someone, when you run a poke team comp, you typically want to have your mid laner and your support, and a very long range bot laner, AD carry.
In addition to that, I feel like he really needs a mid laner with some sort of escape, and Zoe doesn't really have that. But Corki definitely has that with his package. And
Yeah, he has a lot. You know, every 5 minutes or so late game, that package comes in, and that is huge during team fights. It's almost like another ultimate, where it's sort of like a Rumble
Rumble
ultimate,
ulti, yep.
actually. You know,
Yeah.
it does AOE damage on the ground, but it actually does knock back too. So you can use it for zoning, and you can use it for engage, just because of how far the range is on it. Coming in here soon enough, the red buff is spawning. Both teams starting with a traditional start, a very strong leash that Janna gives, being able to negate an amazing amount of damage. Not much going on in the game right now. It's going to be a pretty slow game. Both junglers clearing at about the same pace early game.
gotta keep a good watch on top lane, because if this Jax gets ahead, the game's pretty much going to be over probably.
I anticipate the only way for Jax to be able to pressure extremely hard in this game will be for him to get a slight early lead. And that may
Right.
not necessarily be a kill, but just some CS would actually be enough to stop that. And you can see the Lulu coming in to try and poke the Twitch, but they actually ended up losing that trade because of the Janna shield. Lulu
Right.
going a little bit more aggressive. Malphite hitting level 2 before, being able to poke him down. But something you run into Malphite, or some problems you run into with Malphite, is being able to maintain your mana.
That's
Even
true.
with the new runes, it can still be difficult for Malphite players to maintain mana. And if they go too aggressive early lane, they'll run out of mana and will have a lot of trouble CSing. You
Oh,
can see
we've
an
got
early gank
Sejuani.
coming in. You can see that the gank coming in, Sejuani getting the knock up,
This is gonna have
another
to be a
stun.
flash.
This is going to guaranteed be a flash. You can see
Oh,
that they stick
is
in
he gonna
front of
die?
him.
Oh, he's
They
dead.
stick in front of him.
Oh.
Is he alive? Jax
There
with the
it
flash
is.
to guarantee
Oh,
the
man.
kill. Very risky play. Kane taking a lot of damage, not getting there quite in time. And that would be first blood
This is
for
gonna
the
be
Jax.
some trouble for Malphite for sure.
Our jungler
Oh,
actually coming
wow.
in. The jungler
Okay.
forcing TP, forcing flash. They are now
Sejuani's doing a
slowly
lot of work right here.
falling behind. Kane not being able to do much. Malphite being pressured off the wave, but a lot of time has been spent top lane.
Yep. Bot lane.
Tristana-
Oh, good trade. Oh,
Tristana trading. Uh-oh. Heal burned on our team.
this
A
is
lot
looking
of
really
damage
bad
coming
for Georgia
in.
College. Oh man.
But this is to be expected. Ending lane with Lulu is going to be extremely oppressive. You can see a
Very true.
huge top wave pushing into their tower. Depending on how Malphite is, he may or may not be able to get all of that CS. John not really doing too well against the Syndra, being
It's
pressured
okay
out of
though,
lane, but
she's out of mana. She's out of mana. Yep.
as expected though, as expected, this lane,
Oh, Tristana all inning. This looks
Tristana
like
all
something
inning,
kill.
and
Oh,
Twitch
heal?
having to use
Ooh.
barrier. Twitch
Oh, he has
actually
barrier?
surprisingly taking barrier heal. That was unexpected.
Does Jana have
but
heal?
Jana actually does have heal.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
Alright.
unexpected.
Yep, this is gonna be definitely.
But massive amounts of damage coming in from the Lulu. Kane coming in for a gank. They have no summoners. This looks like it's going to be a kill for the bot lane.
Wow.
no
the
shield.
W. That was a very good W by Kane. That's one thing that's really, really impressive about Kane, is that he can gank you from angles that no normal jungle could usually gank you from.
As you can see, the lane is just so oppressive. John coming in with a large amount of damage. Syndra actually having the same issues that Malphite typically has in the top lane. The Jax quickly pushing that wave in. Malphite has minimal AD and is really kind of bad at CSing under tower, especially in the early games. You
Right.
can see that he had
Jax
to,
has double CS on Malphite.
which, you know, it seems to be that's following a trend this game. Kayn sitting in the mid lane, kind of soaking up some of that XP, not pushing the wave, but just making sure it doesn't do any, get pushed into our tower and take damage. Malphite missing a large sum of that CS under the tower, only being able to get 4 out of that massive wave up top, which was 2 waves put together. And as you can see, John is doing a large amount of damage to this Kayn, slowly whittling him away. Not too much, just enough for him to be annoyed and not want to stay too close to the wave or pressure him too hard. But at the same time, because the jungler is mid lane and soaking that XP, you lose a lot of the ability to pressure other lanes.
Looks like Lulu's trying to get some more pressure onto this bot lane. Yep. It's interesting to see how John and Lulu plays because they kind of have the same play style, honestly, but seems like it's kind of just going back and forth with trades that aren't really ending.
Yeah, I find that the play style of
we got a gank
that would
here.
have been
Miss.
that would have been a really nice
Yeah,
knockup.
Yeah.
I find that the play style of Lulu is a lot more aggressive than the play style of Janna. But that's just because Lulu's kit actually has so much diversity where she has 7 skills because
That's
3
true.
of her skills can be used
You
for
can
2 different
choose what to do,
purposes.
Yep.
So,
Sejuani coming for the
Sejuani
repeat
coming in
gank.
for a second gank. Wow, that jump was already up.
Yeah, wow.
I was not expecting that. I figured that it had still a couple seconds left on the cooldown, but nonetheless, 2 unsuccessful ganks. No summoners burned on the enemy bot side. Heal and barrier down for the friendly bot side, though. Jax with that pink ward preventing any ganks. Malphite having to back again? Being pressured out of lane
That
endlessly.
first blood was just crazy. Yep. Guess that really did it in.
That was the pressure that was needed, but you can see that he is building a thorn mail right off the back, doing everything he can to stop this Jax from pressuring him. Just at the very least making sure he can't be dove under tower. The Sejuani finally backing after camping top for
Kayn
an
looks like
extended
he's
amount of
trying
time.
to do something against this Corki in mid lane.
Syndra
Oh.
sort of sneaking top lane, still freezing that wave,
Oh, Kayn.
hitting level 6. Kayn ganking the mid lane.
Oh, got the
Close.
flash from Corki.
Picking up the flash. John does not have teleport to be able to get back to lane, but doesn't seem that he's going to miss too much CS. Syndra quickly pushing that wave in. Nick not being able to get too much damage in as that Lulu has a shield and the attack speed bonus, so it's very difficult. No damage being done by the top laner. Kayn clearing the red side. But the thing about the build so far is Jax just doesn't have enough damage to be able to kill through that thorn mail with him, just by himself.
He's doing a great job of keeping the pressure up and making sure that this Malphite is having a back like every 2 seconds. So
Once again, doubling top
Yeah.
laner CS. And we can see that Jax is just able to slowly run back to lane, not actually having to deal with too many problems just because he has that wave pushed properly. Malphite, seeing that the enemy jungler had used the vision to clear for any wards, is slowly backing off, making sure he doesn't get ganked as he doesn't have vision of Jax. Picking up the scuttle. We can see that Anthony, the sub-jungler for this game, is rotating mid lane. Package
Oh,
used
the
by
package
John.
is
The stun missed by
huge.
Syndra.
There's a
Ultimate
flash.
hit,
Ultimate,
knockup,
that's gonna be a kill.
and that will be a kill. Flash
it
out.
looks like this Kane's going to be going down.
Looks like
too.
Kane may be going down.
Right.
Tanking the tower.
Yep, he's gone. Ooh.
And a double kill. And does he survive? No, as the tower damage escalated. But
Jackson
that
Malphite
third
going in. He's got
auto
the ultimate
damage.
going off.
Malphite may be forced to auto attack here as Jax jump. Ooh. A lot of damage being done.
That is pre-Triforce Jax. He's going to be huge.
That
when he
is
finishes that off.
pre-Triforce Jax. And I might say that for the first minute and a half of this game, CS does not spawn. And Jax is actually looking at about close to 8 or 9 CS a minute, which
Yeah,
is
pretty
which
good.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, still over double the CS of the enemy top laner and pushing that wave into tower even further, putting him behind. This top laner, it seems there is nothing he can do to stop this Jax, who is only going to snowball more as this lane progresses. We can see that the bot lane is beginning to scale a little bit, actually starting to win trades, which at first does not happen against a Tristana Lulu, which is very oppressive pre-6 compared to Twitch Janna, a very passive lane.
Yeah, it looks like it's just been a farm off so far bot lane. Oh, is there going to be another? Oh,
So far, it does seem that a good bit of damage being done to the
how many
Syndra.
shields do you have bot lane? Oh, man.
It is quite the shield fest bot lane. Not much can be done mid right now after just having been ganked. The Syndra is playing a little bit passive, holding her flash, knowing that at any time Sejuani could come in. Sejuani, whose ultimate is about to be up, coming in for the gank on the bot side, having a pink ward actually.
Very good ultimate by
Oh,
Tristana.
but Lulu may actually. Kane coming
Kane's
in.
coming in with the counter gank.
Kane coming in with the counter gank.
John's going
John
down. We have
with the
Corki.
bot lane. Kane no ultimate, being knocked down quick.
There we go.
Janna taking amazing amounts of damage, but surviving by the skin of her teeth. And Ducarius, Kyle in the top lane, still pressing and taking down this Malphite. There's just nothing it seems that he can do. Actually
Wow.
popping his ultimate preemptively. This is a dangerous
He
position
got
from him.
out-traded.
Malphite may be able to actually kill him
Yeah,
at this
he
point.
definitely can. Oh, he's not. He
But
doesn't
the
trust
bot
himself,
side,
though.
after an amazing gank, is now rotating towards Dragon with a pink ward. The enemy team
That's gonna be a free dragon.
unaware that this is happening. Once again, Infernal Drake. This is
Kane
a
going down
very
was huge in
powerful.
that bot lane skirmish.
A lot of
pressure went
summoners were
down.
burned.
Yep.
It is huge. And an Earth Drake to follow that Infernal Drake up. It is huge getting those early game Infernal Drakes because that just increases your damage for the rest of the game. And as you can see, our top laner Ducarius still surpassing the top laner in CS. Not as much of a lead before, but still quite the lead. Going into the mid lane, we can see that our mid laner may actually rotate up, clearing that pink ward. Top laners pushing the wave in, walking into the brush, acting as if he's going to back. Maybe he may or may not back. This
Yeah, I
bush,
think he's got that Triforce here.
he's got that Triforce, and he may
Oh,
be
he's
able to get
going
in. The
in.
flash,
Oh.
there's nothing he can do. Flash,
There's a
flash for
out.
flash. Still, that is very good.
Oh wow.
Bot lane, just a farm fest as usual. Tristana heavily out CSing Twitch, but is to be expected.
Georgia College seems to be doing a much better job at CSing, except for bot lane, which makes sense with Lulu. We've got a fight
Syndra
going on
taking
here.
down John. General John taking a massive amount of damage,
Oh,
but
wow.
Anthony coming in and picking up that kill as quickly as he was there is as quickly he is gone.
That magic shield really coming in clutch for the Corki.
Yes, you can tell that that Hex Shrinker right off the bat, an amazing build
Great
from
buy.
the Corki, saving his life in that trade, even through the ignite that Syndra used. Syndra did not have flash for that situation, so when Anthony came in, there was nothing that she could have done. Janna just putting a little bit of wards.
It's going to
here
be
and
an interesting situation here for Kane. It seems he hasn't been really able to get any ganks off, so he's not going to be able to get his form, and Kane's pretty useless without his form, so...
Kane has picked up 2 kills.
Yeah.
The Janna shield actually big enough to negate almost all of the Lulu support's damage at this point, as she's not building AP, which is kind of bad for the Lulu, as she's a lot of their lane presence comes from her ability to just hound and hound and hound. Kyle taking damage in the top lane, but he doesn't
just
pay much
absolutely
mind to
ignoring
it.
it.
Keeping
And there we go.
going
There's
in.
a trade. We got
Corki
Corki
coming in
bomb.
with the knockback. It seems he has to ult
Three
away,
man.
but the
There it
knock-up ult
is.
and the kill,
Flash
and
kill.
that is it.
That was a great move by Sejuani. We've got Skirmisher going bot, and just disengage. As expected.
But,
Oh,
you know,
great
surprisingly
damage. Great
winning that
damage.
trade. This is where Twitch shines. You think you've won the trade, you start to walk away, and then he hits you,
Bam.
and that is first tower.
Sponge.
Solo gold first tower for the Jax, who
That
is
is
already
huge.
who's already double the CS of the Malphite. That is incredible. He's going to be a menace. In fact, after this back, he's even clearing the top laner's jungle. Another gank mid lane. If he can get this stun off, it may be huge. Oh, but the Kane coming in. Syndra has no ult, so
Oh, they're disengaging. Oh, wow. That is one
Kayn
tanky
flash.
bore.
That
Jeez.
is quite. Her ultimate came up right as I was saying she had no ult.
Sejuani able to tank that whole thing through without any MR, so this is not looking good for Young Harris's Syndra.
Yeah, that's just Sejuani though. She does have a lot of health though. She has pretty much built full tank so far, other than her Nike Air Maxes.
Yep, 15 minutes. Kane's still no form. You can't really gank bot lane because there's a Janna. You can't really gank top lane because he's just so far ahead. The only gankable lane is mid, and even then it's Corki with a W, so it's
Honestly, that
really hard to do anything if you're a jungler here.
yeah, you're kind of pinholed into just farming your jungle, which as Kayn is not something you can particularly do. Jax having teleport, backing probably to buy his Triforce at this point. He's going to back and potentially TP top.
Oh, we've got
TP coming in top. Sejuani just holding him in place. This Malphite cannot run anywhere. Going into the bush to kind of try and lose vision,
He's
maybe
cut
juke
off.
them out,
There's
cut off
the E.
stunned, and it seems that he will
Oh,
fall.
oh, he's got
And
the
he has
ultimate.
ultied away.
He's
Kayn
got a
coming
Kayn
in.
coming in.
Kayn coming in. A
1v2.
teleport.
That is a
Teleport from
questionable-
John
oh, wow.
and instantly deleted. Instantly deleted.
Well, that's what happens. when
Having
you go
vision
in.
right there, forcing the Syndra to flash. You know, this vision
Wow.
control is so powerful. People don't realize it. Actually rotating to Rift Herald.
Georgia College is doing a great job of extending their lead, capitalizing on everyone's mistakes.
Georgia College actually able to kind of pressure into the enemy jungle. You know, the bot lane is being
Right.
very aggressive right now, but we can get wards into, you know, that especially crucial bush right between the first two tier towers, giving complete vision of essentially their jungler entering the top side jungle. And they have now cleared the rift, giving it to Jax as they know he's going to be split pushing. And if any fights erupt, he will be able to use that. Malphite once again backing, unable to do anything to stop this Jax. Jax, having completed his Triforce,
This
is
is
now
gonna be really
a
risky
force
for
to
the
be
Twitch.
reckoned with. Janna
Wow.
taking a little bit of damage. Twitch taking a little bit of damage. Honestly, both sides just clearing wards in the bot side. Tristana still out CSing by about 20. Syndra coming in,
Syndra
jumping
bot.
in.
Ooh.
Shyvana now, Syndra now seen. We do have the jungler peering bot side in an attempt to stop anything that could potentially happen here. They go in for the
Sejuani
gank.
going in.
Sejuani
Miss-
being knocked
wow,
back by the
great
Janna.
ulti.
Zhonya's by Twitch to stop that, and Sejuani doesn't fall. In fact,
There goes the
they still
ulti.
come out with a positive trade, and this is now a very bad
they're
position.
being chokeholded.
They're being choked. This is very bad positioning for them. There's
This
not
Janna's
much
gonna
she
be
can
going
do
down.
here.
It's gonna
Janna
be Sejuani
going
next.
down,
Oh.
but Corki
Tristana
coming in.
is
Tristana
taking the
falling,
tower. Tristana's gonna be going down right here. Yep.
giving a kill to the jungler, where it may actually seem that Lulu will fall too, catching a stun
wow,
through her
great
flash.
stun.
That is bad for her. And top lane also being able to at least get the flash from the Malphite. That's huge. And we can see that Jax
Wow.
is slowly starting to get some life steal with that Tiamat. The Rift Herald being pushed in bot lane.
Things were looking really bad for Georgia College there, but luckily the tower does a lot of damage.
That tower, you know, those early game tower dives. And we're kind of getting into the mid game now, but Kayn coming in to steal it, but it was not smited away. Kayn not quite doing enough damage to be
Sejuani
able to
is
kill the Sejuani.
Getting low on mana.
A lot of damage, but
Oh,
the
just
ultimate
enough
in
mana
for
for
the
the
auto,
ulti.
just a
There we
little
go.
slap and walk up. Chinglang with the cheeky
great
plays.
1v1. Now they're gonna have the dragon for free.
Another dragon. Now, she still does have smite even after smiting that scuttle, so using smite to secure the dragon and backing in the pit. Getting that bot tower, Georgia College now has taken all three of Young Harris's outer turrets and has yet to be punished for it on any lane, it seems. There's been a lot of pressure bot lane.
Yeah, it's gonna really open up the map for Georgia College. Like even now, they already have a lot of vision going
And,
down.
You know, even an early game donate, you know, usually you don't really see till like the third or fourth red buff typically that it's being donated to the AD carry, but both teams actually donating to their AD carries. nearly fully aware of
Right.
the situation that's happening here. Both teams kind of designed around peeling for their 80 carries.
Looks like Young Harris is just trying to turtle, playing from behind. They have to play very safe or else they may lose their lead. But that's the bad part about playing safe against a split push comp. They're just going to let the enemy team get more and more ahead and keep up the pressure.
Playing from behind during of a split push comp is very, very difficult. Jana and Twitch
coming
actually
in.
being, wow, what actually, phenomenal play by the Jana, knocking back the Tristana on her jump, but still falling, potentially keeping that Twitch alive though.
This Malphite is having a lot of trouble against
once
Malphite.
again,
Oh, jeez.
and an amazing
Wow.
flash jump by the top laner Dukarius to secure that kill, actually forcing a ton of pressure topside. They're now unable to punish them. That kill right there has now forced Young Harris to retreat and stop Jax from taking that tower.
Wow.
An amazing ult, instantly
Great ulti.
deleting.
Great ulti.
Thinking that they had the upper hand there because they
Yeah.
had the vision advantage.
did. Yep.
Still, Lulu falling before she could even get her ultimate off. Stunned. Instantly dead.
Sejuani ulti is just such a hard thing to just.
It's a very fast
Yeah.
projectile, and not to mention, even expecting it, you still don't know quite when the Sejuani is coming in. Demolish. A
Wow,
flash
great
knock
flash
up.
Q.
Tristana being forced to jump away.
Wow, this Tristana's doing a really good job of keeping her sums.
Jax
Oh, wow,
1v1ing and
Nope.
instantly being raided by the Syndra. Becoming a 2v1.
I was like, he's going to get this. And then Syndra comes in. Nope.
Oh, so
they
close.
don't see the
so
pink
close.
ward.
They don't
That's a
see the
sad
pink
life.
wards. Wow.
Oh, man.
Yep. That's a rough one. But they did happen to see their team collapsing in. Jax actually taking that tier 2 tower. Once again, Kyle effectively split pushing both games. Not only during both games has he won lane, he has stomped lane. Still, doubling the CS of the Malphite. Slowing that Syndra, but not quite enough. John
Syndra's
teleporting in,
completely
actually
choked out.
enough to damage
There's
another ult.
ulti.
And the Syndra will fall, and it seems that a ton of pressure is going to be coming into the mid lane. And Georgia College may rotate Baron.
Wow, Sejuani is landing all these ultis perfectly, and it seems like it's just up every minute. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it is.
Sejuani is huge with this ulti.
Right now, the Sejuani's kill participation is nearly 100%, only not being present for one kill, and that was the kill where she was bot side getting another kill, and it was a 1v1 in the top side, where both summoners on both teams were used. So, all in all, the kill participation of that jungler and even the mid
Twitch is
laner.
looking to do a
Twitch looking
surprise
for a little
Twitch
cheeky
attack.
play. Lulu not being able to do it.
Huge play.
The focus on Lulu this game has been pretty solid, and there's not really much she can do about that. And Georgia College V-lining it towards that Baron, and there's nothing that Young Harris can do about this. As I talked about earlier, the Jax in the bot lane split pushing. He is so far ahead. They are melting through this Baron, a 23-minute Baron. Now let's see if they can smite steal. Nope. Actually jumping in, we can see that the Malphite is coming in, instantly stunning the Kayn Sejuani has done. And
Wow.
both the jungler and the top laner foolishly attempting to steal late the Baron buff, which had already been taken.
This is going to be so terrible for Young Harris. With Jax with Baron buff is going to be impossible to deal with.
Yes, definitely. In that split push, it is going to be vicious. And 23 minutes, we can see that the gold lead is incredible by Georgia College. Once again, a 13K gold lead. Keeping their entire team oppressed, it may seem, where not many lanes are winning. Tristana with good plays, but it just seems she's not able to persevere enough to hold the team down. 216 CS on an 80 carry. You'll get the interview.
Oh, man. Stealing the blue buff. This Corki is absolutely demolishing their team. What's
Corki
Kayn
is-
going to do? Is he going to die?
There's not much, honestly. Baiting the
Oh,
Kayn out
yep,
because
looks like
Jax is kind of just coming in. This Kayn isn't really forcing the flash out. Here comes Jax. The redemption,
Redemption coming out.
But why didn't he take that redemption?
He doesn't need the redemption.
Doesn't need it.
He doesn't need
Just
it.
waits it out, waits for the blue buff regen on the mana, and kills him anyway. Very greedy
is
play.
this Jax gonna get caught out? Nope. Looks like they're just trying to disengage.
A 4-man push bot. They're really trying to take at least this outer tier bot.
Wow,
tower.
that is still up, huh?
Yeah, it never got taken. It never got taken. They actually did wind up being able to take that mid tower. So now
Sejuani's looking for some sort of engage.
Sejuani looking for some form of engage. Janna giving Sejuani that move speed. Tristana being forced to ultimate to stop that from happening. Jax coming in. They just can't quite get that. Forcing 2 ultimates,
Wow.
the Tristana ultimate and the
Wow.
Malphite ultimate. Now they'll be able to quickly rotate.
The Sejuani engage potential is just too scary.
She has just so much armor. Right now, as you can see, if we focus on the Sejuani, she has 442 armor with not a, or well, with 1 armor item, but
The
a,
War
you know,
Monks,
a
it's crazy.
just mostly health items. The amount of armor that this Sejuani have is not even effective anymore. Barely gaining any damage reduction from AD at this point. Nearly negating 80 to 90% of all physical damage done to her. This, of course, being her passive and, you know, not necessarily up the entire time. Just very good against poke. And, you know, Malphite falling really quickly. Another inhibitor. And it seems that the Baron buff is still here. They can't even leave their base. They're forced to sit in the fountain and watch their base crumble. As Sejuani with Demolish is still taking down pretty much their entire team
All
falling.
these ultis coming out. This Kane in the back line.
Kane in the back line.
Oh, Janna goes down.
Janna goes down. That last tower being taken. Tristana
This Tristana
trying
tried
to
so
stop.
hard,
Trying
but
to stop, but just
Can't do
cannot.
much. Cannot do anything.
All right, do you want to interview or do you want me to?
You got it.
And another
game.
2-0 from Georgia College to end the series undefeated in the preseason. You know? Now for our post-game talk, we will have the jungler who did an exceptional job this game. Anthony? You want to go get Anthony for me? You up? If you want another one, yeah, I'll interview you again.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. It's good to have you back.
Thanks.
Honestly.
Thanks, Ethan.
Feels like home when you're here. Now let's talk about this game. What happened? You destroyed.
I did. That
That
a
was
observation.
phenomenal. You have you're focused on Lulu that entire game. You know, they had vision to you. I might focus on one play in the bot lane near the end, around 18 minutes, where they actually had vision of you. You were standing behind the wall near the blast cone, but then you ended up like that using Sejuani's engage, flashing, and then flash ulting the Lulu, where she was instantly deleted by, you know, John and a couple other players. Now that play right there, even though their jungler was there and they had vision advantage on you, you were still able to come out on top. What do you think that? Why do you think that was?
Well, at that point, I was just so ahead. It didn't matter what I did. My one death came from barely dying to a turret dive, which I really honestly shouldn't have died to.
Actually, I did see that, and that did do a lot of damage. But the only reason it did that much is your build is full HP.
Well, at that point, I didn't have any items up besides Cinder. But yes, I was so ahead. I could take any punishment. I could make mistakes. I really, honestly, I just ran their team down.
Truly, you could. I was actually near the end of the game, talking with Sean, and we noticed you had 442 armor with 1 armor item.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
That is beautiful, and especially their team being pretty heavy on the AD side. You know, it's pretty ridiculous that you can have that much armor, and it kind of
Absolutely. And the health, I can explain my build too. The armor was necessary against, Tristana. She was getting
that
pretty ahead.
Tristana Lulu would
Very
have been
strong,
an
very
issue.
strong.
Yes, definitely.
But the reason I didn't build any MR is because Syndra wasn't really doing that much damage. She wasn't
she was
damaging
very
me.
far
She was
behind.
always behind their team. I was never worried about
Nor
Syndra.
was she. Yeah, she never really focused you. And honestly speaking, had she focused you, it would have been a lot
it
worse.
would've
For
been
it
a
would
lot
have been
worse.
exactly what you wanted her to do. because you're
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, and honestly, at some point, it becomes inefficient to build any more armor, especially as Sejuani. Like, what's the point of 500 armor? The difference between 500 and 600 armor is like 1% damage reduction.
Very minuscule.
You may as well build more health. So, You know, seeing you play throughout that entire game, camping top lane a little bit in the beginning, it was a phenomenal play from you with a beautiful 17 KDA, the highest on the team.
Yeah.
Good job. Definitely a jungle carry, being able to rotate around the map. But our mid laner as well, also who we would like to interview.
All right. Thank you for interviewing me. I was also happy to cast. Thank you, Nike. Thank you, Rolex. Thank you, Home Depot.
Thank you, Home Depot.
Hello.
And welcome back, Mr. Bills. Once again, a phenomenal play. 0 deaths in both of those games. A triumphant victory. Seems to be that you had led the team in both of those games with multiple roams.
No. Anthony set me up for victory there on
I-
Sejuani.
I did
So
talk
many
with
kills he
Anthony.
set
I
up for
did
me.
talk with Anthony about that. He had some phenomenal jungle plays, setting up many kills and forcing ultimates, summoner spells all around the map while maintaining more CS than the enemy jungler. It seemed he just oppressed him from the very start.
Absolutely.
Starting with that level 3 gank in the top lane, being able to push down and take both of the flashes and then straight into your lane where he was able to, you know, he was able to punish that Syndra and get you both her flash, tanking that tower, giving you donating the kill.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he really set you up to push to the point where you were able to get a 16 KDA.
Yeah, another thing about Syndra, the reason she's not really meta right now is because there's a rune that gives you a magic shield if you drop too low, and if you build
Yes.
Hexdrinker on top of that, she pretty much can't kill you
Yes,
ever.
I did notice that at one point she nearly had gotten you, but that early Hex Drinker coming in, definitely saving you, even through Ignite.
Yeah, she dropped her ultimate on me, and it hardly went through the Hexdrinker null shield.
It actually, the ultimate itself did not even go through both of those shields. It was not able to break that. So, you know, your Hex Drinker plus that rune definitely negated her entire ultimate, which a level 6 Syndra ultimate is deadly.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Especially
deadly.
when you're ahead on Corki and you get Triforce before like 15 minutes. I had it pretty early.
Yes.
You're just a monster. Like,
Well,
a lot of people sleep on Corki and think his damage numbers are low in the early game. But mid-game, late game, he's
Once you hit
unrivaled.
about that 15 to 18 minute point, you can start to see those numbers
Oh,
starting to spike up. And, you know, I see you had a little fun with the build going IE pretty early on.
Yeah. So you're supposed to go static Shiv early if you need wave clear, which we didn't. We were already so far
You were
ahead.
so far ahead.
Yeah,
It
that
was-
it's better to build Infinity Edge for the extra damage.
And the damage that you were outputting was terrifying. Your ultimate, or even your package doing a massive
I
amount
saw
of damage.
Syndra walk on it and take like 900 or 1,000
Yeah, it was.
damage.
It did about half her health. It was a lot, especially for an AD champion. You know,
Everyone
seeing,
underestimates that.
seeing an ultimate like that on an AD champion, being able to knock back. It's a rumble ult with a knockback. Zoning is incredible.
Corki's an AP champion. He just builds AD items. 80% of his auto attacks are AD.
You're right.
Or
Yeah.
AP, sorry.
Yeah, but even like skills, you know,
Oh, yeah.
putting out through some AD damage, even
it's
with
all
AP
AP
scaling.
still.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Corky's a little ridiculous.
But yeah, I have a 36 KDA. Pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's something right there.
Yeah. I'm proud to say I didn't play like a KDA player either. I made plays.
Yeah, you roamed bot. In the bot lane, actually, there was one play in particular that I was very impressed with, is with Nick, and they were getting a 4-man tower dive bot. I don't believe you came into this play until a little bit later. You ended up cleaning up some kills. But the Syndra, once again, having a rough time killing people.
Yeah.
You know, Nick waiting for that very last second, and then instantly using the Zonias, or, you know, the mastery, the rune mastery
So
piece.
there were two things in action there that also explain why Syndra is not meta. One, bot lane taking barrier and heal makes so Syndra actually can't one-shot their AD carry.
I did notice that.
And having stopwatch makes it so
the
her ulti is
stopwatch.
also useless unless she stuns them, which it's not going to last the full duration.
Stopwatch being a one-time use, but that one kill typically is all you need to start the snowball as a
Exactly. Or
Syndra.
to stop the snowball. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been enough to kind of thrust her back into the game, but she never quite got that. And ending the game as 1-4, once again a successful laning phase from team captain John Bills, and a beautiful 2-0 series. We look forward to seeing more and maybe getting me on the team again.
We look forward to having you. Just come to practice.
All right.